We like to pretend that stepping up to a hotel reception desk is a simple commercial transaction, but for many people, that first time carries a surprising weight of social anxiety.
It really does, because you are not just exchanging money for a key card. You are stepping into a staged environment with its own unwritten etiquette, silent hierarchies, and subtle performance requirements.
Welcome, everyone, to another late-night episode designed for advanced English learners aiming to master nuanced, natural conversation at the C1 and C2 levels.
Tonight, under the dim amber glow of the studio lamp, and as the quiet hum of the late city settles outside, we are dissecting an experience that is deceptively ordinary, checking in at a hotel for the first time.
We will examine the psychological friction of navigating formal hospitality, unpack the precise language needed to assert your preferences diplomatically, and practice shadowing advanced expressions that turn potential awkwardness into effortless poise.
Consider the sheer contrast of the setting itself. You step out of the noisy, unpredictable street, pulling a heavy suitcase, and cross a polished marble threshold into an arena of whispered greetings and choreographed efficiency.
That transition can feel intimidating if you are unfamiliar with the unspoken rules. Whether you are checking into a boutique hotel in London or a high-rise executive suite in Tokyo,
You feel a sudden pressure to appear composed, to understand the implicit flow of the conversation, and to interpret terms like incidental holds or complimentary upgrades without hesitation.
exactly. One host standing behind a mahogany counter holds the authority to shape the next few days of your stay, while you stand there trying to project an air of calm familiarity.
That brings us to our central question. How do we transform an unfamiliar, highly structured social interaction from a source of subtle tension into a seamless demonstration of personal authority?
Let us break down the first angle. Many first-time guests assume that the hotel staff hold all the cards and that hospitality is purely top-down, meaning you simply receive whatever service they decide to dole out.
I see it somewhat differently. True hospitality is an interactive negotiation, albeit a very polite one, where your tone, posture, and linguistic precision actively set the standard for how you will be treated.
I agree to an extent, but we must acknowledge that hospitality scripts are deliberately asymmetric. The receptionist is trained to maintain a polished facade, which can make a first-time guest feel like an outsider intruding on a private club.
That may be true in principle, but if you look past the formal uniform and the scripted phrases, the front desk agent is primarily managing logistical friction and looking for smooth, clear communication.
That brings us to a vital distinction worth making here. There is a profound difference between being demanding and being articulate.
Precisely. Being demanding stems from anxiety and often manifests as rigid entitlement, whereas being articulate relies on subtle assertiveness, allowing you to establish clear boundaries and expectations without breaking social harmony.
That clarity of intent leads us straight to our central concept for tonight. Here is our first golden sentence. Navigating unfamiliar hospitality environments requires a delicate balance between gracious self-assurance and the precise articulation of your personal boundaries.
There is an important idea inside that sentence.
Let us break this down for advanced shadowing practice. Listen carefully to the cadence and natural stress patterns before you repeat. First thought group. Navigating unfamiliar hospitality environments.
Navigating unfamiliar hospitality environments
Second thought group. Requires a delicate balance.
requires a delicate balance
Third thought group. Between gracious self-assurance.
between gracious self-assurance
Final thought group. And the precise articulation of your personal boundaries.
and the precise articulation of your personal boundaries.
Now, let us synthesize the entire thought into one fluid, confident statement, placing subtle emphasis on delicate balance and precise articulation. Navigating unfamiliar hospitality environments requires a delicate balance between gracious self-assurance and the precise articulation of your personal boundaries.
Notice how the rhythmic cadence carries authority without sounding harsh or confrontational.
Let us apply this to a realistic scenario. Imagine a young professional, Sarah, checking into a business hotel in Edinburgh late at night after an exhausting day of travel.
She arrives at the desk, hands over her passport, and the front desk agent casually informs her that her reserved king-size room is unavailable, offering her a twin room right next to the elevator instead.
An inexperienced traveler might either accept the downgrade in frustrated silence or react with unnecessary indignation, destroying any chance of a favorable resolution.
How would an articulate C1 or C2 level speaker handle that friction?
Rather than reacting emotionally, Sarah maintains an unruffled composure and says, "I appreciate you letting me know, but given my late arrival and early meeting, a quiet room with a king bed was the primary requirement for my stay. What alternative options can we explore to ensure a restful night?"
That response is masterclass diplomacy. She acknowledges the agent's statement, restates her non-negotiable preference without raising her voice, and invites a collaborative solution.
She bypasses the typical defensive posture of the front desk and subtly prompts the agent to look for administrative workarounds, such as an unannounced room upgrade.
Let us examine the sophisticated vocabulary and nuanced collocations embedded in these types of exchanges.
Consider the phrase unruffled composure. It describes a deep internal calm that remains entirely unaffected by unexpected operational hiccups or awkward social moments.
Then we have diplomatic assertiveness. This collocation captures the ability to stand your ground firmly while maintaining complete respect and polite deference toward the other person.
We also frequently encounter incidental deposit or pre-authorization hold, which refers to the temporary freezing of funds on your card to cover potential extra costs during your stay.
Understanding that specific financial terminology prevents the sudden panic many first-time travelers experience when they see a higher charge pending on their bank account statement.
Another key term is implicit etiquette, the unspoken rules of behavior, such as standing back to give the previous guest privacy or having your documentation prepared beforehand.
Mastering these linguistic tools allows you to navigate the lobby not as a nervous novice, but as a seasoned international traveler who understands the system inside out.
Looking at the deeper implications, our relationship with formal spaces often reflects how secure we feel in our own social standing.
Absolutely. When people feel out of place in a luxurious or highly structured environment, they tend to overcompensate either through hyperdeference or unprovoked defensiveness.
The true test of high-level English fluency in these settings is the ability to project quiet ease, signaling that you belong in the room regardless of how unfamiliar the venue might be.
It is about recognizing that every professional system, no matter how intimidating its architecture or polished its marble, is operated by human beings responding to clear, respectful communication.
That insight brings us directly to our second core principle regarding practical application.
Here is our second golden sentence. Masterful communication in formal transactions relies not on imposing authority, but on cultivating mutual respect through clarity, composure, and poise.
That gives us something practical to carry forward.
Let us move into our second shadowing exercise. Listen closely to the structural pauses and natural intonation curves. First thought group, masterful communication in formal transactions.
Masterful communication in formal transactions.
Second thought group, relies not on imposing authority.
Relies not on imposing authority,
Third thought group, but on cultivating mutual respect.
but on cultivating mutual respect.
Final thought group, through clarity, composure, and poise.
Through clarity, composure, and poise.
Now, let us deliver the full sentence together with steady, grounded pacing. Masterful communication in formal transactions relies not on imposing authority, but on cultivating mutual respect through clarity, composure, and poise.
Feel how the deliberate pauses give every word weight, allowing your listener to absorb the full measure of your confidence.
Now, let us pause and reflect. How do you typically react when faced with a minor administrative failure or an unexpected change of plans in a formal setting?
Do you tend to retreat into passive acceptance to avoid conflict? Or can you maintain diplomatic assertiveness under pressure?
A concise model response to that question might be, I used to accept administrative oversight silently out of anxiety, but I have learned that voicing my concerns calmly and clearly usually leads to a mutually beneficial solution.
Consider another reflective prompt. How can you prepare yourself mentally and linguistically before entering an unfamiliar, high-stakes hospitality environment.
A strong model response would be, I review key industry terminology in advance and mentally rehearse my core requests, which allows me to maintain complete composure during the actual check-in process.
How can you apply these principles the next time you find yourself standing at a hotel reception counter or any formal customer service desk?
Begin by establishing warm, direct eye contact. Greet the staff member with steady warmth and state your name and reservation details clearly without rushing your words.
If a special request arises, such as asking for a higher floor, late checkout, or a quieter room away from the main road, frame it not as a demand, but as a reasoned preference.
You might say, if space permits, I would greatly appreciate a room situated away from the elevator shaft, as I have an early presentation tomorrow morning.
Framing your request around a practical need makes it significantly easier for the receptionist to assist you, turning an administrative task into a personal favor.
Synthesizing our discussion tonight, checking in at a hotel for the first time is rarely just about receiving a plastic room key. It is a microcosm of how we navigate unfamiliar power dynamics and formal systems.
We have established that true poise does not require aggressive posturing or anxious compliance, but rather a refined balance of clarity, tactical patience, and diplomatic precision.
By mastering the implicit codes and explicit language of hospitality, you transform an intimidating routine into a smooth display of personal and professional authority.
As the late hours draw on and the night deepens around us, we leave you with one final thought to ponder before you rest.
What implicit social codes or unfamiliar environments in your own life are currently asking you to step up, claim your space, and speak with unruffled composure?
Thank you for spending this quiet, reflective time with us, refining your English and sharpening your perspective.
Until next time, travel light, speak with quiet confidence, and good night.